Y'all, we need to be prepared for the firestorm that would be the media completely going bazonkulous over the Supreme Court perhaps not taking up the case against Donald Trump being barred from being on the primary ballot for Colorado and Maine. The Supreme Court has a deadline for when they need to take up the case. January 4th, Thursday of this week, by end of day, they need to decide whether they want to take up the case by accepting a writ of certiorari, or they don't want to hear the case, meaning lower court decisions for Colorado and Maine are upheld, meaning Donald Trump is barred from being on the ballot. To make things simple, here are three options. Now that Donald Trump's team has appealed the decision, the court could, 1, possibly not take up the case and the lower court decision is upheld. 2, do take up the case and agree with the lower court, meaning that Donald Trump will be also barred from the ballot, so both of these options are not good for Trump. But the third and most likely to happen is the favorable one for Trump, where the Supreme Court does take up the case and overturns it, allowing Trump to be on the ballot. Now, our Supreme Court has a 6-3 Republican majority, but the job of any Supreme Court justice is to interpret the Constitution. And due to the events of January 6th, as well as the written language that is in our Constitution, I think it's pretty evident that he violated the Constitution. So it's up to the Supreme Court to decide whether, even though he violated the Constitution, can he still be on the ballot. And again, they have a deadline. It's January 4th. So while asserting that Trump should be disqualified, the Colorado State Supreme Court also placed a stay on its own order, allowing Trump to remain on the ballot for now, as it is expected that he will appeal the decision, which he did. The stay will last until January 4th, end of day, one day prior to when the ballot for the 2024 GOP presidential primary has to be finalized. And the Colorado ruling will also determine Maine and that state's eligibility to have Donald Trump on the ballot. Now, my big takeaway is I want people to be prepared. Conservatives, I want you to be prepared if the case is not taken up. I know that if it doesn't go your way, you're going to say it's unfair, or I guess they somehow cheated, or that it's rigged. But also, Democrats, we need to be prepared if the Supreme Court decides to take up the case and overturn it. That would be a big precedent for going against states' rights, and that is integral to many different things. And Republicans, also very integral to many different initiatives that you have. But I guarantee that they will immediately chuck all of their morals or ethics, what little they may have, out the window when it is convenient for their self-gain. Y'all, we need to be prepared. January 4th, 5th, and 6th of 2024 are going to be some very intense days, news-wise. Stay tuned.